Good afternoon, student. This is the lecture number 18 of Unit 3, that is pressure measurement. Up to previous lecture, we have studied what is pressure, what is the unit of pressure, how the unit conversion will be done from Newton per millimeter square to Newton meter square, what is Pascal, that we have already covered. Then we have studied the classification of a pressure measuring instrument. In that we have studied low pressure measuring, high pressure measuring, and a medium pressure measuring instrument. Okay, so in the previous lecture we have studied the low pressure measuring device, that is McLeod gauge. In that McLeod gauge we have studied the working principle of McLeod gauge, what will be the range of pressure measuring of a McLeod gauge, then uh, what is the derived form of a pressure uh, by using that McLeod gauge, and advantages and disadvantages that we have already studied. Okay, so today we are going to study the second low pressure measuring gauge, that is thermal conductivity gauge. Okay, so these gauge work on the principle on the following principle. Okay, the temperature of a given wire through which an electric current is flowing depends on two factors. Means which principle it works, that temperature of a given wire through which an electric current is flowing depends on two factors. What are they? The magnitude of the current, means how much magnitude of current is flowing through the wire, and rate at which the heat is dissipated, means in how much time the heat is dissipated to the atmosphere. Okay, on that two principles, the temperature of a given wire through which the electric current is flowing depends. Okay, means suppose we are interested to um, find out the temperature of wire from which the electric current is flowing. Okay, so in that case, how the temperature varies, that temperature variation is depending upon the how much current is flowing through the wire, and at what rate the heat is dissipated to the atmosphere. Okay, on that two parameters the thermal conductivity of a gauge or temperature of a wire can be measured. Okay, the current can be kept constant, and rate of heat dissipated will depends on the conductivity of the surrounding medium. Okay, in these two cases, what we have studied, that temperature of the wire is depending upon two parameters, that is magnitude of the current, or we can say that current flowing through the wire, and rate at which the heat is dissipated to the atmosphere. Okay, out of that one parameter we have kept constant. Which one? That current, means same current we are interested to flow through the wire, and second parameter will be varying because it is not in control, in our control. Okay, so the current can be kept constant, and the rate at which the heat dissipated depends upon the conductivity of the surrounding medium as well as the conductivity of the wire. Okay, because the thermal conductivity of the wire and the surrounding will be higher, then at a faster rate the heat will be dissipated to the surrounding. Okay, then further, as the density of a given medium is reduced, that is pressure is lowered. Okay, its conductivity will also reduce, and the wire will become hotter for a given current. Okay, means what we can say, that suppose the density of a medium, given medium, is whatever the surrounding is there, of that surrounding air, the density is reduced. Reduce, then pressure is lowered. That's why the pressure is lowered, and its conductivity will also reduce. Okay, and that's why the wire will become hotter for a given current, means whatever the current, constant current we are flowing through the wire, that uh, because of the current, and to the flowing current there will be resistance, and because of the resistance to the flowing current to the wire, the temperature of the wire will increases. Okay, and as the temperature of the wire increases, the wire will become red hot. Okay, and second parameter come into picture, that is heat dissipation, as the surrounding air is having lower density, and that's why but we can say that the pressure is lower and its conductivity will also reduce. That's why the heat will not be dissipated to the surrounding. That's why whatever the heat developed by the resistance of a flow of current, that will be increases, okay, and the wire will become red hot. Thus it is seen that the temperature of the wire is directly depend upon the pressure of the surrounding medium. So here we can say that the uh, or from this experimentation we can observe that the temperature of the wire is directly depends upon what, depend upon the pressure of the surrounding medium, because the as the pressure increases, the thermal conductivity will increases. As the pressure decreases, the thermal conductivity uh, uh, of the wire, or what we can say that heat dissipated to the atmosphere, will be decreases. That's why we can say that the temperature of the wire is directly depending upon the pressure of the surrounding medium. Okay, the most commonly used conductivity gauges are that thermocouple gauge and resistance thermometer, that is Pirani gauge. Okay, so these two gauges are used for the measurement of pressure, and both the gauges are work on the principle of magnitude of current flowing through the wire and a rate of heat dissipated to the atmosphere. Okay, out of that first gauge we will see, that is thermocouple gauge. Okay, now in the working principle, here in the diagram we can see. Okay, so in this diagram we can observe that uh, there is a one circuit shown over here. Okay, so in that circuit one battery is provided, one ammeter is there, and variable resistance is there. Variable resistance here, this is nothing but the representation of the variable resistance. Okay, and this horizontal one between these two dark points, that is nothing but the wire. uh, okay, and hence it is known as a thermocouple, and that wire is acts as a thermocouple, because we are flowing the current, or we are flowing the current through the that wire. Okay, so uh, as the current flowing through the wire, the heat will increases, because there is a resistance to the flow of current. Okay, because of that the temperature of that wire will increases. Okay, and that complete assembly wire is put into the vacuum in a container. Okay, then on the other side there is a moving coil, what we can say that voltmeter is attached. Okay, now we have increases the temperature of the wire by flowing the current. Okay, and as we have provided as we have provided that complete assembly in a one container having vacuum. As the pressure inside the container is less, the thermal conductivity of the wire also decreases. That's why whatever the heat generated at the or generated in the hot wire, that will remain constant, or it will increases by the flow of current, and which will be measured on the in the form of voltmeter, or what we can say that in the form of voltage. Okay, so in the working principle we will study how it will works. The thermocouple vacuum gauge operates on the principle that the thermal low pressure thermal conductivity of a glass is a function of pressure. What, the low pressure thermal conductivity of a glass is a function of pressure. Okay, that we have already studied in the on the previous slide. Figure show the basic element of the thermocouple vacuum gauge. Okay, why it is known as vacuum gauge? Because that hot wire is placed inside the vacuum container. Okay, it consists of a heater element, and that heated to a temperature of 50 degrees Celsius to 400 degrees Celsius by known constant current. By known constant current means we have already considered that we are passing the constant current through the wire. That's why we know that what will be the current flowing through the current. What will be the current flowing through the wire, and the temperature of the wire is maintained at in between 50 to 400 degrees Celsius. Okay, it consists of a heater element having thermocouple in contact with its center as shown in figure. Okay, so the upper portion, this one, just a second. This will be nothing but the thermocouple, because which is connected in the middle of the, what we can say that, in the center of the wire. Okay. Then the heater element of a thermocouple are enclosed in a glass or a metal envelope which is sealed into the vacuum system. Okay. Then the heater element is supplied with a constant electric energy, and its temperature is measured by the thermocouple. Okay, in terms of voltage. Okay, and which will be induced EMF, which can be directly measured by a voltmeter. Okay, that I have already told you, which is a function of heat loss. So the heater element is supplied with a constant electric energy, and its temperature measured by the thermocouple, which will be induced EMF, and which can be directly measured by the voltmeter. Okay, so here we can say that the voltmeter, whatever the reading shown, that will be an indication of pressure. Okay, so you will say that how we can say that from the voltmeter what will be the pressure of a unknown air. Okay, that is nothing but initially we will pass the known air, which pressure we already known, and we just see or observe the voltmeter reading. Okay, so by sending 1 bar of pressure, by sending 2 bar of air, by passing 3 bar of air, so that for respectively for 1 bar, 2 bar and 3 bar of air, what will be the reading shown by the voltmeter. By using that, we just mark the scale on the voltmeter, or it will be already with voltmeter. Okay, so in that range we will say that, so as there will be 1 bar pressure, voltmeter will show 1 volt. Okay, for 2 bar pressure, voltmeter will show 2 uh, 2 volt. Okay, likewise we will have make the calibrated scale for the pressure in terms of voltage, and then we will send the unknown quantity of air or pressure air through the vacuum, and we will measure the pressure in terms of voltage. Okay, so this is nothing but the measurement of a pressure by using thermocouple gauge. Okay, then next, the heater element is supplied with the constant electric energy, and its temperature is measured by thermocouple, which will be induced EMF, which can be directly measured of voltmeter. Okay, there is a repetition of sentence. The voltage measuring instrument can be directly calibrated to read the pressure of the gas. I have already explained how, because the scale is calibrated for the means voltage scale is calibrated for the measurement of pressure. Now that thermocouple gauge measure the pressure in the range of 10 to the power minus 4 to 1 mm of Hg, means this low pressure is measured by using that thermocouple gauge. Now what are the advantages and limitation of the thermocouple gauge? Inexpensive and rugged constructions, means what we can say that rugged, or what we can say that compact structure. Okay, convenience and continuous reading, it will give the means readings are very much convenient for the measure, and it gives continuous reading, possibly for remote reading. Okay, then possibility of process control with meter relay. Okay, then disadvantages of a thermocouple gauge: the required electric power, narrow reading range, need for individual and frequent calibration for the different gauges. Okay, means yes, obviously for the different gases or different air, the different calibration is required, because we will have to pass some known quantity, and then we will get the reading in terms of voltage. Okay, so there will be calibrated scale must be there for the different gases. Okay, so this is the limitation of the using thermocouple gauge. Okay, I think all of you have understood what is the thermocouple gauge. Then next type of gauge is resistance thermometer, that is Pirani gauge. Okay, so in this gauge, the uh, here uh, the whatever the experimental setup you have observed, that is somewhat similar to the Wheatstone bridge network. Okay, Wheatstone-Bridge network. You have studied it, Wheatstone-Bridge network, in the 12th standard. Okay, there on the four limbs, four resistances are attached, and across that four resistances, in series or parallel, we will have to supply the current. Okay, so this is nothing but the measurement of a pressure by using the Pirani gauge. Now here we will go through the experimental setup. In experimental setup we can observe that there are four limbs. The two limbs are in parallel to the millimeter, and two limbs are in what we can say series with the uh, one limbs and one vacuum gauge. Okay, so and that on the vacuum gauge is attached on that limb, the battery and variable resistance is provided. Okay, so in this gauge the temperature of the wire is determined by measuring the change of resistance, as we have studied in the thermocouple gauge. Okay, this gauge employs a single filament in the form of four coils wires of a tungsten or a platinum connected in parallel, that we have already studied. This gauge is employed with a single filament. Single filament is enclosed in a glass or a metal envelope or bottle. Okay, in the form of four coil wire of a tungsten or platinum connected in parallel, enclosed in a glass tube chamber whose pressure is to be measured. Means the wire of which the pressure is to be measured. The resistance change of the filament in the measuring cell. The resistance change of the filament in the measuring cell is measured by the use of resistance bridge, which is calibrated in terms of pressure. The resistance change of the filament in the measuring cell is measured by the use of resistance bridge, and which is calibrated in terms of pressure. Okay, these gauges cover range of 10 to the power 5 to 1 millimeter of Hg. Means this much, or this in this range the pressure measurement will be done by using this resistance thermometer, or what we can say that Pirani gauge. Then the advantages of the Pirani gauge. It is inexpensive and rugged construction. Means what we can say that the construction is robust, or some compact construction of the experimental setup. Pressure reading range in wider. Okay, more accurate than the thermocouple gauge. This Pirani gauge is more accurate than the what we can say that than the thermocouple gauge. Then fast response to the change in pressure. As we changes the pressure, the instrument will give fast response. Okay, the possibility of pressure control, process control, and remote reading. Limitation: require electric power supply. Calibration is non-linear and varies from one gas to another. Poor transient response. Poor transient response. Require calibration against some pressure standard. Required calibration against some pressure standard. Okay, so this is nothing but the pressure measurement by using Pirani gauge, or we may call it as a resistance thermometer. Okay, the next type of gauge is ionization gauge. In ionization gauge we can see in the experimental setup there are cathode, one grid, anode. Okay, so the experimental setup is somewhat similar to the what we can say that the Pirani gauge or thermocouple gauge. Okay, so the additional components are there, so that we will have to study. Okay, this gauge consists of a head of filament. Okay, a grid, anode plate, and these elements are housed. Housed means what? It will be enclosed in a one envelope which communicated with the vacuum system under test. Okay, so and that envelope is closed with a vacuum. Okay, the grid is maintained at a positive potential. uh, this horizontal one, this grid is maintained at a positive temperature. Then anode is what we can say, grid is maintained at positive potential, while the anode is maintained at a negative potential, and the cathode is maintained at a positive potential. Okay, so the grid draws electrons. So the as grid is the positive, when we supply the electric current to the grid, the grid temperature will increases because of the flow of current through the metal piece, because of the resistance of that metal piece. And after the red hot condition achieved, it will emit the electron. That electrons are emitted by the cathode, because cathode is maintained at a positive potential. Okay, maintained at a positive potential. Okay, uh, then what we can say that from an atom, thus producing the free electrons possibility of charged ion of molecules, since the anode plate is maintained at a negative potential, and the positive ions in the space between the grid and anode migrate toward the anode. Okay, and as that positive potential ions are migrate toward the anode, and electrons are migrate toward the cathode. Okay, the current means in the anode, current I1 is produced in the plate circuit, and in the grid circuit, current I2 is produced. Okay, and it will be the measure of pressure. That is, the rate of ion production is proportional to the number of electrons available to ionize the gas and the amount of gas present. Thus, the ratio of positive ion, that is anode current I1, to the electron, that is grid current I2, is measure of gas pressure. Okay, so it is given by P equal to 1 by S into I1 divided by I2, where S is the sensitivity of the gauge, which is determined by the calibration of a gas, and the gauge are available to measure the pressure in the range of 10 to the power minus 9 to 10 to the power minus 4 mm of Hg. So this is nothing but the range of a pressure measured by the ionization gauge. The advantages of ionization gauge are the pressure reading range in wider, fast response to change in pressure, possibility of process control and remote reading, constant sensitivity for a given gas over a wide range of pressure. Okay, so these are the different advantages by using ionization gauge. Then disadvantages of a ionization gauge. The cost of ionization gauge is high, complex electric circuitry, then calibration varies with gas. Some gases get decomposed on the hot filament, and must be provided with a automatic cutoff. Okay, these are the different advantages of what we can say that ionization gauge. And the limitations are: the cost is high, complex electric circuitry, calibration varies with the gas, some gases get decomposed on the hot filament, means there will be decomposition, that's why corrosion and rusting will be takes place, and must be provided with a automatic cutoff, must be provided with the automatic cutoff. Okay, so that automatic cutoff gives the discontinued reading. Okay, so that will be the limitation of the ionization gauge. Okay, so in today's lecture we have studied three types of gauges. First one is the thermocouple gauge. Okay, then second one is the resistance thermometer, that is Pirani gauge, and third one will be the ionization gauge. Okay, so these three types of gauges we have studied today. Okay, so this is nothing but the uh, all the low pressure gauges. In previous lecture we have gone through the McLeod gauge. The range of pressure measuring of a McLeod gauge is below 10 to the power minus 4 of mm of Hg. Then range of thermocouple gauge is 10 to the power minus 4 to 1 mm of Hg. Then range for Pirani gauge is 10 to the power 5 to 1 mm of Hg. And then the range of the ionization gauge is 10 to the power minus 9 to 10 to the power minus 4 mm of Hg. That is not, this is nothing but the range of ionization gauge. Okay, so whatever the remaining gauges for the pressure measurement, that we will cover in the upcoming lectures. Okay, and whatever the doubts related to this lecture, that we will discuss in the Google Meet. So come with the doubts you have after going through the this lecture. Okay, so now we will stop over here. Thank you.